Hey, it's Dr. Brian, and welcome back to the next video of the Pen Drop. I am here to talk about my writing and how I've become a creative writer. And to give you my story, if you see the previous video, you will see that, I talk about how I got my doctorate degree. And my doctorate's in educational leadership. As a bachelor's degree student, as a high school student, I did not like to write. I didn't enjoy the process. I was very first draft, rough draft, I'm done with it. I have learned from that point. And the process of going from freshman to sophomore to junior to senior year of bachelor's degree, I learned how to write. I learned how to get a little bit better. I learned basic revising. But I wasn't great at it. And I'll be the first person to tell you, I was not great at a writer. I really struggled with it because a lot of times I just wrote what flowed out of my head and I turned it in. And it didn't take long for a professor to bleed in red ink on the page. So how do you get from that stage to, and the day I'm recording this, which is in October of 2014, I wrote 5,300 words today in about a 5-hour period. So about 1,000 words an hour. They're not edited, so don't think it's like that. It's not. It's first draft stuff. But I was able to put 5,000 words down. So how do you go from a writer who hated writing to a writer who really actually enjoys the process? I actually enjoy sitting down and writing right now. I have no problem doing it. I like the alone time. I like the exploration of my head into getting it on the page. So what did I do? Well, the first step was my master's program was writing heavy. We did a lot of writing. We did a lot of researching. We always had discussion questions to answer. We had to, I wrote a master's thesis. We were writing constantly. If we did group work as a group, we had to sit down and write up a report on it. And usually it came with a presentation that went along. So there was a lot of writing involved. And I got to the point where, and I had a daily word count, 250 to 500 words each day. And a lot of those were answering a question that a professor had posed, and then you'd have to answer it back. Or other students had made a comment about something, write it back. Now, this 250 to 500 words on a normal day. Some of them were my words, some of it was research, and I was rewriting it, paraphrasing whatever you say, but I was learning to write. I was learning to see what is good as what is bad. I also had professors who were bleeding on all this stuff, and not necessarily bleeding in a bad way. They were pointing out the things I was doing wrong. And simple stuff like active passive voice or, I don't know, subject verb agreement, things that you see, or you didn't do your works cited right. So I learned how to write. I learned how to get in the pattern of sitting down at a computer every day and typing some sort of response up. Step forward into my doctorate, it was even more, except for now the 250 to 500 was up into about 1,000 a day. Got very good at writing 1,000 words a day. Was it a struggle? On some days, but for the most part, I got in that pattern and I was able to do it. And it's turned the same way as my doctorate ended and I was awarded my degree and I got finished. Now I'm into writing as a professional, as a creative writer. And to me, it's the same thing. Now, we're going to get into the whole, are you an outliner or you're an architect and all that. I am an outliner, and that's the way I prefer to write. But it takes me, 15, 20 minutes to write out what I think the outline is, and then I just sit down and go. And my whole thing is I'm trying to hit certain marks in my outline and what I'm writing. But usually every day it's 1,000 words for me, and that's what I'm writing. Today was a special day. Today I was off. I was not at work. My son was at school, my wife was at work, and I was able to just pour out on the page. And I had hours to just sit there and bang away at the computer. Now, 3 days before today, I was writing out the outline. So when I got to the computer this morning to start writing the beginning of my day, I had exactly what I knew I was going to do. It was just a process of going down through each phase of that to have what I wanted to write. So that's how I took my writing. That's how I went from hating writing and not enjoying it all the way up to the point where I love it. Now, at some point I've got to get into the phase of let's learn how to revise all this to get it to the published level. But that's what the YouTube videos are for. So you can see me going through the process while you begin your process of becoming a better writer. So like before, subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to Twitter, shoot us emails at thependrop@gmail.com. Start this dialogue about what writing is and what creative writing is, and hopefully at some point you'll get up to the same pace that I'm at and you'll be creating some pretty good material. See you in the next video.